Hello and thank you for tuning in to this week's MacDesk Floor Report. I'm Rebecca Darst from the Market Access Center, bringing you the very latest market action as it happens from the world-famous floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Today is Thursday, January 3rd, and we are treading water in the major indices right now. We're trading about 14 points higher in the Dow, and that's 2.5 points higher in the S&P, but that is nothing to scoff at following yesterday's 300-point gain on the back of that fiscal cliff deal, a rally that swept all 30 Dow stocks to a higher close. Today's activity is a little more subdued, but the U.S. data releases so far have been very decent. We had little in the way of market catalysts overnight from the Asia-Pacific session, with both the Shanghai Composite and the Nikkei closed today. European indices closed mixed to lower as investors pared back positions after yesterday's U.S. deal-led rally. December unemployment data from Germany came out a little better than the market was looking for. Analysts broadly expected the German economy to have shed 10,000 jobs in the month of December. That's in keeping with the very soft expectations for Q4 Eurozone growth. Instead, just 3,000 jobs were lost on a seasonally adjusted basis in Germany, so that was relatively better than expected. Here in the U.S., futures rallied on a better than expected December ADP employment report, which showed an increase of 215,000 private sector jobs added in December. Analysts, by and large, were looking for only about 140,000, so that was a nice surprise. But we split the difference after the latest weekly jobless claims came in worse than expected at 372,000. The street was looking for a reading more in the neighborhood of 365. That being said, we had a string of December comp store sales from leading retailers. More than half of those reporting today beat estimates to the upside. Department stores and teen retailers were bright spots, while discount chains and apparel were mixed to lower. December U.S. auto sales were also released today, with big three automakers roundly posting bigger than expected gains. Publicly traded automakers are trading at 52-week highs today. As of Thursday afternoon, then, we're looking at a pullback of 2% in the volatility index. That brings the VIX below a reading of 15. And take a look at the dollar index. The index is back above a reading of 80 today for the first time since mid-December, which may point to some Fed speculation taking shape against the backdrop of better than expected data releases on the jobs front. To that end, we'll be following the market action closely tomorrow for the December non-farm payrolls number. Street consensus is looking for a positive change of 152,000 non-farm payrolls against a prior reading of 146,000. Option trading volume in anticipation of that number in the SPY weekly options has been a little subdued today, but bear in mind that late last week and early this week, we did have traders targeting January 4 weeklies at the $141 and deeper downside $121 put strikes. So some of those fiscal cliff related hedges may still be useful for traders looking for protection through the end of the week. Looking ahead to the global market catalyst for next week, it's going to be a busy one, kicking off with a full slate of Eurozone data on Tuesday, January 8th. That's when December consumer and industrial confidence data is due out, along with a read on Eurozone retail sales for November. And here on these shores, earnings season kicks off with Alcoa due to report next Tuesday after the bell. On Wednesday, January 9th, we could see some movement in the futures in response to German industrial production data for November, along with a weekly read on Japanese, domestic, and foreign stock and bond investments, followed by U.S. MBA mortgage applications. On Thursday the 10th, we got a pair of rate announcements from both the ECB and the Bank of England. Those will likely be the main pre-market catalysts, along with the U.S. weekly jobless claims. And taking us out next week, on Friday, January 11th, it'll be a relatively quiet day for data releases, limited to UK industrial and manufacturing production data for November, along with the U.S. November trade balance. Busy week ahead, and we'll be following all the action as it happens on the MacDesk, so be sure to check your inbox for the midday and join us again next week for the MacDesk Floor Report.